Hey, NorCal Carters, it is Monday, August, right? Yeah, it's August 29th, and we're on NorCal Mondays. And tonight we have our senior show. So the senior drivers have chimed in. So we've had a number of junior shows on. We had a master shows a couple weeks ago. For those of you that are new to karting, basically the juniors are ages, in our case, 6, 7 years old up to about 12. Actually, no, 14. And then the seniors kick in between 14, 15, up to whatever they decide to run masters, which could be anywhere from 30 years old and up. So today we have a number of our NorCal standouts that run the various senior classes, and a couple of housekeeping items. Races coming up. Let's see here. So we have NorCalCarters.com. You can click on the calendar link for the events that are on. Tonight, I'm a little bit off. I'm not going to lie. I'm tired. I was out at the track all day. So I'm only going to highlight the clubs that are sponsoring NorCalCarters.com. But for a full race schedule, you can go to NorCalCarters.com, click on the calendar link. So this weekend, I didn't even realize it was Labor Day. The year has flown by. So this weekend coming up, September 3rd and 4th is Labor Day, and Prairie City has a club race. So Prairie City has their 4-stroke club weekend. So what they've done the past couple of years, they have 4-stroke weekend and 2-stroke weekend. So this weekend is 4-stroke weekend. That's at Prairie City. More information at pckarting.com. And then we have, give me one moment here. Also at Prairie City, they're going to be very, very busy this month. The Track Magic Rally. So the Track Magic Rally is taking place at Prairie City September 9th, 10th, and the 11th. So they've opened it up this year. It's always been open to everybody, but they've made it a more of an attempt to include all the NorCal chassis manufacturers. So it's the Track Magic Rally, but they want Invaders to show up. They want MX to show up. They want CTS people to show up. MX, Invader, CTS, Track Magic. I thought there was one more cart I'm missing, but it's open to everybody. And again, that's September 9th, 10th, and 11th out at Prairie City. And then jumping ahead, NCK, they don't get a lot of attention because they only had 4 races this year. But NCK, the road racers of our karting segment, they race on the big tracks like the big Sonoma track, Laguna Seca, Thunder Hill, Button Willow on the big track. They are going to Thunder Hill. NCK is heading to Thunder Hill East for the fall shootout, and that'll be October 1st and 2nd. So those are the big events we wanted to hit on the live show, and we'll go over the other shows on the weekly podcast as well. So without further ado, you ready, Ashley?
Hey, NorCal. All right, so little kind of housekeeping as well. CCKRA, there was a heat advisory. So they are not going to be having their barrier race after all. It's going to be moved to Button Willow. I'm blanking on the dates right now again, but we'll get those shared out to you.
Give me a second.
And then we also have Sonoma as well. And I think that's it for me.
That's it?
Yeah.
You're not going to talk about the camo shirts?
Oh, okay. So today I am wearing the Heather Gray, the new NorCal Carters shirts, in Heather Gray. We also have some in long sleeve as well. This is a short sleeve. There's also long sleeve as well. We have some in the dark gray. The camo, we have the hashtag NorCal Army shirts have been the most popular. So I think Jason has one of those in his background. But get your shirts. at I believe it's Extra Cart Parts, and there's a link.
There's a link. Or you can go to NorCal Carters, click on the shop tab. It'll take you right to the link.
There you go.
Yeah. It's all right. So since Ashley and I are slipping tonight, we're going to get us off screen, and we're going to bring up our first senior driver. So the first one we're going to introduce to you is going to be Bowden Barnwell. Bowden, welcome to the show.
It's good to be on here. So, yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Let's see. Let's start with your home track, the class that you run, or classes that you run, and the chassis that you're on.
Okay. So my home track is Shasta Kart Club out of Redding, California, which is a few hours north of Sacramento. So, and the chassis that I run on is a Burrell. Like there is no other go-kart that I would choose really. Just the Burrell is just really good, at least for a 4-stroke well. And I mostly just run 206 senior. So yeah, and I'm not really part of like any big team. So I'm just like on my own, and there's a group of us that run the Burrell, and we all help each other out every weekend. So, or whenever we're all at the track, most KPX races. So yeah.
Well, give a shout out to your dad, because you guys are a father-son duo. There's a couple of you that run, together. So give a shout out to your dad.
Yeah, shout out to my dad, Barry Barnwell. He's he's great. So he's helped me a lot. So yeah.
The voice of Senior Briggs and Junior Briggs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the introduction. We'll bring you back in a moment. Next up, we have. Oh man, I was like practicing this name the whole time. We have Cade. God be here.
How's
it going?
Pretty happy to be on here. My home track is Buttermillow Raceway. It's about 30 minutes away from Bakersfield, and I race a senior 206 class on a VLR chassis. It's kind of just a group of us, like VLR people that just help each other out. And
I never would have guessed you're on a VLR. Not at all. I love the representation.
Thank you.
So home track is Buttonwillow. You run the Senior Briggs class. You run the VLR chassis.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe you can tell us. You've got the updates. Then when do they reschedule the next race to? From Fresno, they rescheduled it to Buttonwillow.
Pretty
It's
sure
an
it's
October date.
October 1st and 2nd.
October
Yeah.
1st and 2nd. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now you're our new race reporter for CCKRA. Congratulations. All right. Thanks, Cade. We'll bring you back on. And
All right.
next up, we're going to have Gino Sandoval. Gino, what's going on this evening?
Nothing much.
Not much. All right. Home track, the class that you run, and the chassis that you're on, or the team you run with.
My current running home track is Prairie City, because I don't think they run Stockton anymore. And the chassis I'm on is a OTK Tony kart. And I'll occasionally run with the Speed Sense boys, but we usually go by ourselves with my dad and my brother. So yeah.
Yep. And your brother's name?
Mateo Sandoval, yeah.
Mateo Sandoval. Yep. You guys, all three of you are usually at the track all together.
Yeah.
Yep. And your brother's on which chassis?
He's on an OTK too. He's on a EOS kart.
EOS. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one with the pretty bodywork.
It's blue.
Yeah. So we have OTK representation. Prairie City is your home track. And you run a bunch of different classes, though, don't you?
Yeah, I run Senior K, and then I'll run the Senior Rock GP. That's what we're going to do in Vegas. So
Got it. Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. And then we'll bring you back on in a moment. Next up, representing the orange, we have Chris Martin.
Hello. How's
How are
everybody doing? Good. I'm good.
Happy
Doing
belated
great.
birthday.
Thank you. It was a great birthday.
Someone's gonna chime in tonight and go, "Well, it's my birthday tonight," and it's like, "Well, you didn't tell me."
It was still a great birthday though. I had a
Yeah.
good time, it was a good weekend.
So your home track, the class that you run, and the chassis and team you run with.
My home track is Sonoma. I first raced at Dixon, but Sonoma. I've been at Sonoma so many times,
Okay.
and I love Sonoma. My racing chassis, Sodi, the orange, of course.
Yep.
And the team is Karting Collective, and I also want to shout out my dad too for supporting me on that. And what else?
Let's see.
K
Home track,
Senior.
team,
K
chassis,
Senior.
classes.
K Senior. I run K Senior sometimes, X30 Senior, but I like the K though because you could just focus on more driving and less on the power and stuff. So I like.
Very cool. And I think everyone on here is that milk.
Yes.
I'm good. I think everyone on here is like father-son team, so this is actually kind of cool. So we have Yasodi Kart, Sonoma. Sorry, my wife is delivering me cookies, and I was like, I'm distracted.
All good.
They just came out of the oven.
What kind?
I don't. I'll show you guys when I go on the camera. Roman's laughing. So speaking of Roman, all right, Chris, thank you for the introduction. We'll bring you
No
right
problem.
back. And we'll bring Roman Madrigal. Same questions for you. Home track. What's your home track? The team you run with, the chassis you're on, and the class that you run.
My home track is Sonoma. I just joined Ron White Racing this year, so that's been awesome on the CRG chassis that we've been running. And man, between the power, between the cart, we've been having a great year. And working with my dad just keeps getting better. So that's
It's actually a pretty cool panel. I'm like digging it as I'm looking at all the names. Like, yeah, this is all the dads spin the wrenches.
yeah.
Well, you spin your own wrenches too, but I know your dad's a big part of the program.
He's got his method, like once he starts working, just can't interrupt him. It just interrupts his flow, so
Yeah,
gotta sit passive.
very cool. So we have CRG, Sonoma, KA100.
I'll run 206, and then I run shifters sometimes at Prairie, but K is the main.
KA is the main. Very cool. All right, I'm gonna bring everybody up. You ready to go? Boom. Everybody's up.
What's up?
So these were the cookies my wife just brought in. They just came right out of the oven. I don't know what they were. They were like some chocolate chip oatmeal. Oh, yeah.
Those were good.
I'm very professional.
All right, so let's talk about recent wins. I know some of you guys did KPX, some of you guys are at Sonoma. Oh yeah, everybody has a good story too, because Gina. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about recent wins. And yeah,
Okay, you're on the board.
Okay, we'll start with Bowden.
Okay, so well, it's actually been a little while since I've won a race this year, but I had a KPX win out in up in here in Reading in Shasta Kart Club this year for KPX, and that gave a nice boost in points. So, but sadly, I was in a crash at Prairie City, and that ended kind of my championship there, or it made it very hard for me to come back and be able to win the championship. But not everything went smoothly. So yeah, I ended up like 5th or 6th in the points there. But the final Prairie City KPX race, I actually did quite well at. Starting off, it was nice. I got pole, and then from there, the heat race. I finished good. I had a 2nd place in the heat race, and but the rear bumper was too wide, so I go up and run pad holder, and I have to run the rear bumper a little wider. So that was equipment failure. So I had to start in the back in the pre-final. So I made my way up to 12th from 22nd in the pre-final, and from there in the main, I it was a very rough start in the main, but I made it work, and now or then I made it up and I ended up fourth. So it was a very close finish with 4 of us at the line there in the main at Prairie City. So yeah,
I have a quick question. What is a pad holder?
Pad holder is another series like KPX, except
Okay.
they run 2-stroke and 4-stroke in the same weekend. So
Where are they located?
all the way up in the northwest there, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, even British Columbia up there in Canada. So
Is that what they used to call the O2S or no?
Gold Cup.
Gold Cup. Okay, so it's the old
Yes.
Region 6 series.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So all right.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know, so I had to ask.
hmm
Apparently, Josh Vilos knew.
Yeah, he actually came up and he was wrenching for me at in McMinnville, Oregon. So
How's that
yeah,
track?
it's a very wide open track. There's a couple corners that are, if you can get them down a little better than most people, then you're hard to beat. So yeah,
Did you guys make it to the Evergreen Space Museum?
no, we didn't.
Yeah, you got to put that on your
Yeah.
bucket list. Very cool. All right, Ashley, take it over.
All right, so let's go down. Next one I see is Cade. Go ahead, Cade.
The last one I had was at Prairie City KPX. I think it was round 4. It rained that weekend and kind of struggled early, but I was able to come back in the final.
I like how you had to turn around, and there's a big number 1 behind you. It's like, yeah, that one.
And
All right. Gino.
My recent win was
Okay.
it was I think 2 weekends ago or whatever. In the Rock GP at Sonoma.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you win anything?
Oh yeah, I won the full ticket to Vegas and $2,500.
What are you gonna do with
What?
$2,500?
He's cool. All right. Next
What are you
up-
doing with the money? Because it's real cash.
I don't even know. Probably spend it on a new chassis or whatever. Put it in with a new chassis because I kind of broke mine.
Oh, what'd you do?
The seat struts it cracked in like 3 spots because I have like 50 pounds on the seat, so we kind of have to get a new frame.
Got it.
Man.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Connor
Chris
chiming in.
Martin.
Sorry, Chris. I'm stealing your thunder for a second.
Oh.
Connor's bald spot. Gino got the earnings. I think you got a lot of money that weekend. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure you had a pretty good weekend up there too.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I had a great weekend.
you had a great week. Tell us about it.
Well, first off, it was my birthday on Saturday, so we did good. We were practicing. We qualified good. I think we qualified 4th or 3rd. And then we went into Sunday. Pre-finals came around. We were just hanging around 3rd, just waiting for all the shenanigans to happen. And then the final hit. So I knew once the final hit, you gotta make something happen. You have to. I mean, it's the last race. So shenanigans happens, of course. And then, moved my way up and I got the win. But it was at Rockfest West and I got $1,000. And with that $1,000, I think I'm gonna go to Vegas with it.
Yeah,
Have a
well,
good
you got
time
$1,000
there.
cash, and then you got the entry, right?
Yep, and I got a free entry,
Yep.
so I'm going for free to Vegas, so might as well spend some money there too.
So Rock Sonoma gets a lot of attention on our show because they're an overall sponsor. They sponsor the calendar. They sponsor NorCal Carters. Every time I come up with shirts, they buy shirts. They hire both Ashley and I to go out there. So they get a lot of love. And, speaking of Rock Sonoma, you can go back and watch all of the races from the past 2 years on YouTube on the Rock Sonoma channel. So we can't bring him up yet because we didn't do. Do we do Roman?
No, we didn't, but I was just gonna let you talk.
Oh, you're gonna let me talk. I can
So-
talk in a little corner up here.
Roman.
So speaking of Rock Sonoma, Roman Madrigal, wrap it up for us.
Well, I just gotta say that was a really well driven race by Chris. That last race at Rockfest, I mean, down at the bottom of the pit over there after the tic-tac-toe, he put in a little lunge, and at that point, I kind of like, I was like, okay, I got to try that out on Eddie. So, props to Chris for refreshing my mind on that passing spot. But yeah,
He made a great pass.
Yeah, I mean, I had to
even
do
told
it,
him
man.
about it. He made a great pass.
I just wanted that podium to look a little different, So had to do something there. But once Chris got the pace and the momentum, he just kind of ran away from us, and me, Wilkins, and Shimon were left to duke it out. So
yeah, Wilkins showed up. Yeah, and it was right there. And it is kind of funny too. Like Eddie Shimon, it's like he's been the kid to beat all year long. He probably has the least amount of YouTube time.
Yeah,
because it's like he's just like, honestly, he's been kind of by himself, and to see you guys really mix up that top 5 at the last race was really fun to watch and really fun to call that race.
It was fun to drive. I mean, that was a really fun race to drive. That's probably my favorite of all season, probably. Even though it wasn't the one I won, it was probably like, I got to do a little bit with Eddie in the race before, like a little bit of some like fighting. It was kind of more like if I didn't make it stick right, then I wouldn't have won that race because he would have just kind of taken that if I kind of would have biffed that pass. So for sure there wasn't as much in the previous race, but this race was probably my favorite that I've raced in a long time.
Yeah,
and
it was a lot
really
of fun to
deserved
watch.
that win. So
very cool. Okay, Ashley, now you can bring everybody up.
Yeah, and then Andre said, shout out to Roman and John for always being helpful and supporting us new karters.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And a shout out right back to Andre for growing the 100cc Masters class.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's been doing so much work with my dad to get people out there and just, get them off the couch, right? So
yeah. Yeah, it's what, gone from like 2 or 3. Okay, Ashley, you take it.
Yeah.
It's gone from like 2 or 3 guys, and at one race I think they had 16 or 17 in that 100cc Masters. So it's been good to see that.
yeah.
Very cool. All right, what do you have next for him, Ashley?
All right. So let's talk about who is getting ready for Vegas and what are you running in Vegas?
Well, I'm getting ready. I got a free entry and I'm running the Sodi. I'm running the Sodi at Vegas.
100cc.
Yep, 100cc.
Yep.
VLR. Not
VLR.
VLR. Hopefully it's the same track as last year though. I like that track.
Yeah.
The rock the real track. Yeah, I like it. It's a good flowing track.
All right, Gino.
I'm gonna be running the Rock GP with my Tony kart, so I'm excited for that because it's my first trip out to Vegas, and we got a full ticket, so I'm excited.
That really is your first trip to Vegas?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
we've never
surprised by that.
been. I know,
Really?
yeah. We're always thinking about going. Like last year, we were gonna go, and then we were like, better not. But this year, I'm excited because we're going this year.
Very cool.
That's cool. I still can't believe that it's only your first year, but okay.
I know you just kind of assume like when guys have been in it for long enough. it's
Yeah.
like, they've been there.
Yeah, I know. It's just like I think it was a time thing because I'm in high school now and I'm on my senior year, so you know how that is. But
You're ditching all your classes anyway.
yeah, pretty much. So,
Right?
yeah.
All right. So, Cade, are you going to Vegas?
No, I only really raced 206.
Oh, okay.
So are you doing Spud Cup or Cup Karts North America?
Yeah.
No,
That came in from Stephanie Barnwell.
Yeah.
No, I haven't really raced anything outside of maybe Phoenix so far. Because last year and the year before, we go to the 4-cycle showdown in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's good racing. I mean, there's 40. I think there was 40 last year, and it was.
When do they do that race? Is that still in the winter?
Yeah, it's in like November.
November. Okay, so it used to be their turkey race.
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably is. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Bowden, chime in here.
Okay.
Shed some light on this 4-stroke crowd because we're surrounded here by 2-strokers.
Yeah. So my plans for the rest of the year is I'm trying to hit Spud Cup, the Super Showdown, and CKNA Nationals in Newcastle. So I'm having a busy time coming up here pretty quick. So
What is Spud Cup? Is that, I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
Idaho.
it's up in Idaho. Yes, it's at the CART Idaho track, and
Okay.
I've never been there before, so we'll see. It's a money race, so senior 206 will be really big. So I'm excited for that. It's like $1,000 plus something for entries, and
Dude, you could buy a whole
Yeah.
Briggs cart for that.
yeah. So no, I recently went up to I think it was last weekend. I went up to the Saturday night shootout at in Tri-Cities, Washington. For the
That's a
Tri-City
cool
Kart
track.
Club. Sorry, I didn't catch
That's
that.
a cool track.
Oh, it's a good track. So
Yeah.
they recently repaved it this year. So yeah.
I've only been there once as a mechanic, and that was one of the tracks on my list. Like, okay, if I make it back up there, I'm going to drive it because it looked like such a cool layout.
Yeah, it's got a ton of different layouts too. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
All right. This is what I think I was thinking of, Gina, when you guys went to Worlds. Thank you, Rich Sandoval, for the fact check. It was Worlds in NOLA. Did you race that? You raced that, right?
Yeah, I raced that one in
But that
Right.
wasn't a big race. Like, you just completely forgot about it.
Well, I mean,
Well,
it was
And
hella
he
long
was
ago.
little.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was like
okay.
8 or something. I
Oh,
don't even know.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. That's what I remember. He was like little, and it was like, yay!
Yeah, I guess that's true. When you're that young, it's like it's just kind of it's just another race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
And then
Nola's
Mateo went
beautiful,
too.
he went for support, but he didn't race. I raced. It was just me.
Oh,
So,
all right. But I think that's what I was remembering because I was like, that's weird that I don't remember him going to Supernuts or anything.
yeah, I haven't been to Supernats or Rock Vegas. That's about it.
Oh,
Very cool. All right, I gotta bring a question up from Ashley's checklist here. So it's going to be 2-part because we have 4-strokers on the right and we have 2-strokers on the left. Well, we got Gino right in the middle. So actually, that's kind of appropriate. So Ashley had a question earlier. What do you think would make NorCal more competitive? So we'll start with Roman. And then let's stay focused on the KA class because that's the one that I know you race a lot.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it could really get much more competitive. Let's just say bigger. How can we grow it to like 30 guys?
I think having some type of homologation between the bigger tracks and the smaller tracks. I mean, it's hard to do with all the different sponsors that are involved with the different tracks and what tire packages they run and things like that. But I think maybe some incentive for like some regional championship or something like that, of like something that promotes people to want to travel across this region and actually want to compete at places and get testing time. And I think the hard thing with Sonoma is how infrequent their practice is and how much they're not willing to budge on some things regarding like pricing or racing. And that kind of makes having some unity as a community kind of hard. But beyond that, I think KPX does a good job of that. I think it's just hard to say how to bridge, the rock crowd to bring them into KPX. And I think maybe some of that's in tire package, and maybe some of that's in just overall scheduling and frequency of that series. But something along the lines of that, I think, is kind of the push, right? To have something that's a big championship for everybody that lives up here.
Got it. Isert just chimed in. Chad Isert. Have a couple Sanzaru races at Prairie City.
Yeah. It's just Rock's dealing with the series is hard, but maybe because I'm pretty sure that Prairie City, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's an IAMI like friendly club. And Rock Sonoma is obviously rock friendly. So just talking to Don, he's not willing to do the weight penalty limit like for K versus Rock. I asked him about that at the last two-stroke about would he ever do like a 350-pound rock package or something like that, but to keep the sponsorships and keep the incentive there, but it kind of clashes with some other deals, I think.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand that when the tracks, in order for them to help offset racing costs, they may make some alignments with IAMI / Evenco or Vortex / Levanto or whatever, or MG tires, whatever it may be, because they use those monies and they put them right back in the club to lower the cost to go race. And it's like you just said, it's very difficult for someone like Donald, who you probably have to be careful. We can't speak for Donald and say he's an IAMI loyalist, but everyone knows it's an IAMI track. He sells the Evenco tires, and there's no there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Because that helps him offset the entry fee. Just like at Sonoma, they sell the Levanto tire and the Vortex engine package. So yeah, I mean, I think that conversation could be open though. It's like, okay, where do we have a little bit of flexibility to bring some of our drivers to kind of cross-platform, if you will. And I think a lot of people locally, I think they would just go, we don't care. But underlying, they have a contract, and the contract cares.
Right.
Right?
It's the fine print that always gets you on these
big fine print. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Donald would go like, oh, yeah, I have, I can add 30 or 40 more entries to my guys, and we can add 30 or 40 more to Sonoma. Yeah, let's just make it work. But, both tracks, and they have contracts.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the question. Was how can we make
how can we make NorCal more competitive?
More competitive.
Who wants to go next?
Go ahead.
I think we should have another Pro Tour at Sonoma. I think like the big races and the big show outs, because the last Pro Tour in Sonoma, that was 2017, and the whole paddock was filled. I mean, it was filled from the top to all the way down to where like the other shops are at.
Yeah,
it was crazy, and it was like the biggest I've ever seen Sonoma, like as many people there. And I think that was a great race, and I think it like brought people to want to race, and it just like the big races gives you a different experience compared to like little regional like the pro car or something. I think bigger winnings, bigger showings is really good for the track and really good for NorCal, because I think Sonoma is like the Hardy of NorCal. I mean, there's Dixon, there's Davis, Prairie City, Redding, but I think Sonoma is where it's at.
Yeah, and I can argue that both ways, because Sonoma is definitely NorCal's most modern track.
Yeah.
So for like the class that you run with 100cc, it's a very well suited track. It races very well. The racing is exciting. But then on the contrast, you have the Briggs stuff.
Yep.
And I'd rather watch a Briggs race at Prairie City, Dixon, or Davis or Redding than I would at Sonoma.
Yeah. I guess it varies on track.
Yeah. Well, in packages, and then what's adapting. And I think that's why in the Central Valley you see such a big growth of the Briggs over the past 5, 6, 7 years because of the type of tracks that they're so well suited for.
I think Dixon would be a good race to watch.
Dixon and Briggs or Dixon and Pro Shifter?
Dixon and Pro Shifter.
Dixon and Pro Shifter. I would go for that.
All
All
right.
right, who's next? What would make NorCal more competitive? Bowden, you want to take that one?
Yeah. Well, I'll try.
You'll try. It's an opinion question, so you can't be wrong.
That's true.
You're wrong.
I mean, so right now we only, well, Prairie City's really the only track around, like, other than like Sonoma, who's doing their two-stroke stuff, but that's doing good, like and how do I
Just spit it out. We're uncensored here.
yeah
I have like 3 sponsors, so I can't offend anybody.
okay, but we need to kind of, KPX really is really competitive right now. It's just, how do we get more people to run?
You know what I
KPX
think is a
or-
shame? You have a good series going, and guys won't go up to your local track. They won't go up to Reading.
No.
They won't go up to Reno. And it's like, those are 2 great tracks outside of the Central Valley that are a lot of fun to race. They're a lot of fun to drive. And it's not very hard. Like for Reading, if I was still, racing, I would just plan a 3-day weekend and take off, the
Yeah.
Monday. And my family and I would go explore Reading or Shasta or something else. Kind of make it a little vacation. It's like you're already driving up there. So
Yeah.
you might as well make it enjoyable. And the same with Reno. Like, I don't understand why more adult drivers don't go to Reno, because you got the track. It's a cool track. And then you got downtown Reno.
Yeah.
I've scratched my head over that over the past few years. It just, as soon as someone looks at the map and go, I got to drive 30 miles. That's way too far.
Yeah, that's kind of where people are stuck at. They won't travel that far,
Yeah.
really. So
And we mainly see it with the 4-stroke crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we really see it.
mhm.
Because to be fair, outside of Sonoma and Prairie City, there really isn't a 2-stroke crowd. So
No.
unless you go down south to down to Cade's
South
area with the CCKRA, they've been
or down
growing
there, too.
their series.
Yeah.
Team Visalia, shout out. All right, who do we
All right.
miss? Let's see. Cade, you didn't say anything.
Yeah.
What
I
would
mean,
make NorCal more competitive?
right now, like at KPX, it's really competitive, and I mean, I'll try my best to explain, but like, it's really competitive there. I mean, when they, like what you guys were talking about, when they go up to Reno or Shasta, I mean, there's less entries, which I don't know how they.
Well, let me ask you, do you go to Reno or Reading?
I went to Reno, but I wasn't able to go up to Reading.
Got it. And for you, I mean, honestly, we're talking about, it's too far. But for you, are you near Fresno or Bakersfield?
I'm 2 hours south of Fresno, so it's like 4 hours.
That's a haul for you.
Yeah,
That's a long drive.
it's very far.
Yeah. So for you to hit anything KPX is going to be a travel commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, CCKRA has been growing, and that's good. I know some of the drivers at CCKRA have been going to Prairie City
Yeah.
for like KPX and
You have fans.
Your fans, Cade.
fan club.
Is that your alias on YouTube?
All right, Gino.
I honestly don't know what to say. I just think, like Chris said, put a pro tour in Sonoma, but Honestly, I don't know how to answer this question. The question.
All right.
So what, you don't have a suggestion on what would make it more competitive in one of your classes?
I feel like at Prairie City, not a lot of KAs go out there. So I just think because they recently let the VLRs go out there, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I honestly don't know how. I have no idea what to say. I gotta be honest.
All right, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did we
All
cover
right.
everybody? We got Roman, we got Chris, we got Bowden.
Okay,
got everybody.
so now I'm gonna kind of go through the comments. Josh says, if your regional series offered an entry to the nationals for the champions to the nationals. So I think he's kind of talking about like the tickets, like how Rock Sonoma is offering the tickets. Good idea.
Yeah, but I mean that's specifically to rock. We don't have SCUSA up here, so we can't do a regional SCUSA thing because we don't have SCUSA up here. IKF Nationals is kind of a one-off race now. You don't need your 3 punches because there really isn't an IKF regional series. Prairie City's chiming in. NorCal is competitive. At Prairie City.
Yeah, Roman said NorCal street race. Don't even get me started.
Where did Roman say that?
In the chat, yeah.
A street
All right.
race. You know, I would
Lancaster.
love to see something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the pulse is for support and financing for something like that.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a weight penalty. Oh, so this one, Barry Barnwell
should be
said
running Masters.
there are tracks that would like to host some of these series, I think outside the Bay /SAC area.
Yeah, I think we mentioned them. We have Reading, we have Reno.
Going through. Sorry, I'm just reading through the comments.
Bring Welsh up, David Welsh. More participation at other tracks in 2-stroke. PC is ready to go. Drivers need to show up. I think a big part of that is Donald puts a lot of effort into getting racers to show up, and it shows. And it's just been growing. So I think it starts there. I think it starts with the track. Make people feel like they're wanted. Put on a good show. You don't have to put on a super Nats every single weekend, but when they leave, you want to give them the feeling that, okay, I want to go back there.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody have any questions for any of your other panel members? If you have questions for our panel, go ahead and put them in the chat. Jason, do you wanna hit him with your signature question?
No.
What? Why not?
What? You're like, what? All right. Gino, when you're traveling on the road to a track, what is your favorite place to eat? To or from the racetrack?
Probably on the way home is.
And you cannot say In and Out.
Probably on the way home. And I gotta say, gotta go to McDonald's and get the number 7 double cheeseburger, bro.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's one we don't hear a lot.
Okay, you can say In and Out.
All right. Okay, then yeah, In and Out.
Okay, In and Out. Double
that's-
single.
Yeah. No, double. It's
Double.
Every time we come home, we always go there. For me, at least.
You always
My
go to
brother-
In and Out.
Yeah, my brother's
Yeah.
healthy. He doesn't like it, so.
Does he get like a lettuce wrap?
No, he doesn't. He goes to
Protein style, is that what they call it?
Chipotle. We have to stop at Chipotle.
Like I would do like a protein style on top of animal fries and then mash it all up. Like wash it down with a chocolate shake.
All right. So,
All right, Cade.
Cade.
Traveling on the road, to or from the racetrack, where's your favorite place to stop and eat?
Probably coming back home, we like to stop at like a Chipotle in Stockton. Yeah, we kind of go there every time.
Chipotle. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had that on the
Alright.
show a few times. In and Out's definitely number one. Bowden, come on, surprise us. Give us a good one.
I don't know. His favorite place to stop.
Yeah, because you guys
Uh,
drive a lot.
We do drive quite a lot.
I mean, there's got to be at least one spot. You man, if they're open, we're stopping there.
Not really. I mean,
We had mountain oysters in Nebraska.
what?
Tell them you had mountain oysters in Nebraska.
Mountain oysters in Nebraska?
Mountain
Remember
oysters.
that?
No, I don't remember that.
28 testicles in Nebraska.
No, we
Side note, Barry's been dying to be on the
Oh,
show
man.
too.
yeah.
so-
So in Nebraska, they called it a buckanet, and yeah,
Buckanet?
it was bull testicles. Yeah,
Okay.
they taste like
Please
this
tell me
chicken
you
nugget.
didn't eat more than $20 worth.
No, I had a bite.
Oh, okay.
It's a chicken nugget though. It tastes like chicken.
Maybe that's what McDonald's chicken nuggets are, and they're not
Oh
telling
my
us.
gosh. Thanks, Barry. Now Jason's not going to be able to recover from this. All right, Chris Martin, save me. You're my only hope.
Bull nuts. Well, we got Roman too. You got 2 chances to save the show.
For me, it's got to be Popeyes.
Yes. Red beans and rice in the spicy chicken.
Yup, the chicken sandwich. Oh, that's it. Especially after a race weekend. Oh, yup. That's good.
All right. Roman. See, this is Barry. This is what she did now, Barry.
Bull nuts.
Okay, Roman.
Yes.
It only happened
Tomorrow, that's gonna trend on Google. Like, are McDonald's nuggets bull nuts?
Oh,
my
God.
That's gonna trend.
All right.
Christopher Martin's gonna show up at the next race with chicken nuggets hanging off a gold chain.
Those are not chicken nuggets.
They my nugs.
All right, Roman, hurry, save me.
They're my nugs.
Nugs. Okay.
All right, I'm out. Show
Hey.
over. Go ahead, Roman.
I don't know if I can, man. But those Coyotes on the way back from Prairie City.
Oh, those okay in Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anywhere. It's a branch. So
yeah.
you can get it pretty much anywhere except for the Bay, so that sucks.
Yeah, because I think they're more of a Central Valley, Davis-ish, Oak Grove-ish type place.
I think they're regional, like they're out of Sacramento, so
Yeah.
you're kind of supporting a local chain.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like lost. Those my nugs. I'm sorry.
I know, that's why. All right, guys. So we're running out of time now. Let's go through. We'll do final thoughts, shout outs. Where are you going to race next? Barry, let us get through this, man. All right. So final thoughts, shout out. Where are you going to race next? Gino, you can start us off.
Of course, Sonoma, but we're coming to Vegas. I'm excited. We're going to Vegas. Yeah, I'm so hyped for that. It's gonna be sick.
All right, final thoughts, shout out, plug your team, plug your dad, your sponsors.
Oh, shout out to Austin at Speed Sense Motorsports. He's a big help. Shout out to my dad. My dad's sick. He's hella cool. And shout out to my brother. He helps too, picking up my cart because that thing's heavy. And yeah.
All right, Gino. Well, good luck in Vegas. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you in Sonoma. All right, Cade, we will go to you next.
I like to thank my dad. He helps out a lot racing. I mean, drives me up Prairie City a lot, 4 hours most every weekend. I also like to thank Jay Story and Sophie, who kind of developed me as a driver. And VLR. I've been fast all year on the chassis.
All right, and then you plugged your team. Final thoughts. All right, Cade. Well, good luck this year. The rest of the year. We'll see you later.
All right, thank
Hope to
you.
hear from you
Thanks for joining
soon.
us, Cade.
Thank you. It's been fun. I'm sure.
All right. Coming up. Did Roman leave?
Did we got rid of Roman?
This guy.
Maybe he just can't follow up those my nugs.
He can't. He can't
Like,
keep a straight
He
face.
can't.
All right,
like, he
Chris.
just-
Chris, final thoughts, shout outs. Where are you gonna be next?
My next race, Santa Maria Pro Kart, and then after that, Sonoma, and then after that should be Vegas. Pretty sure.
All right.
Shout outs, Allison Racing Engines for producing the power for me, the Karting Collective, Nick Leduc, my dad, Sodi, thank you for the cart. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this last coming few months, big races. I'm ready for it.
I need you need to like whatever pose you have right now. You just need to do a selfie and text it to me.
Oh my
I do.
gosh. All right.
Yeah.
I'll have my nugs.
Yes, exactly.
Don't get him started. Okay. All right. All right, Chris. We'll see you in Sonoma.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Great job last
Bye. Have a
weekend.
good night. Thanks for hanging
Thank you.
out.
Good night. Bye.
Have a good night.
All right, Bowden. Go ahead. Close us
Um,
out.
It's definitely going to be a banger. So, so my next race will be up at Spud Cup, which is like 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks. And I'll be going up there with the Heelys and my dad. So we'll have a good time. I'll see if I can win and come back with some money, or basically use that money to on the weekend. So we'll basically close to racing for free that weekend. So, mostly it's my family that's been my biggest supporters. So my mom and dad. So, and also thank you to Egan Motorsports, Dan Pellizzari, and Josh. Josh is has helped me out a little bit this year, even though it's basically one race. But yeah, Tyler Egan. I always got to just say Tyler Egan. He's from Egan Motorsports. So.
I have Walbro carburetors for rent if ever anyone wants them.
Oh my God.
If they get drilled out, it's $500.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Bowden.
Yeah, I had a good time. So
Thanks
Yeah.
for bringing Barry too.
my dad.
All right,
The voice
guys.
of
Have a good
206
night.
Racing.
We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
All right.
All right. So Roman's phone died, but his shout out is CRG. Thank you, Dad, for all the help on and off the track. Ron White Racing for believing in me. Have a good night, Jason and Ashley. See you at the next race.
You know what? I he lost it after those my nugs.
Yeah.
That's where
Coincidentally, your phone dies.
yes.
All right, but I kind of want to bring this back up. So, David
What if
Walsh said, "What if
Sanzaru-
Sanzaru traveled to a few other tracks? Shasta is great, PC is great, Reno is great. Some series overlap. That's what makes it tough." What do you mean by Sanzaru? What if Sanzaru traveled to other tracks? Do you mean like the crew itself? Do you mean like the promoters? Do you mean what do you mean? So go ahead and comment if you're still on, David. That would be awesome.
I read that into he wants to take the Rock Sonoma program. and expand it to a couple of other of our good NorCal tracks.
All right.
That's kind of how I
Can't
read
do
into it.
anything. Briggs is knocking on Jason's door right now. So we got this right here.
Oh, for my carburetors? Yeah. I've had a few people eyeball those things.
All right. Our friend Andre, thanks for the podcast. Andre, if you get a shirt, if you buy a shirt, Jason will sign it for you. He will
No
sign
one wants
it.
my autograph.
He's been waiting.
After
Jason's
this
been
show, they're
waiting.
going to want Christopher Martin.
Jason's been
I'm
waiting
going to start calling him the Nugget.
to sign somebody's t-shirt.
No,
So, the series.
the series.
Interesting. All right. All right. So, Jason, do you have any final thoughts, shout outs, anything you would like to close with?
Same thing I say every week. If we all get one person in karting, we'll double by next year.
All
What
right.
about you?
Oh, Reading would love to host a race for Rock.
Hey, Cameron, call Barnwell.
All
We're
right.
getting a race in Reading. We're traveling.
All right. So I overlooked a few dates in September. We have 2 dates open. If there's anyone you would like to see, hear from, if there's a show you would like us to kind of work on, anything like that, send us a message, DM in our Instagram, anything like that. I have 2 dates open. So
If you want to be on Ashley's show,
if you want to be on my show to talk about karting, let's do it. I think that's it.
that's it.
I think so.
You
Because
lost me
September
15 you lost
lineup's
me
gonna.
15 minutes ago with Martin. Sorry.
I know. All right.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. If you like what you're seeing, hit click, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. And like Ashley just said, if you have ideas for future shows, let us know. So this show is for you guys. It's not for Ashley and I. So
Yeah.
sign us off,
And
Ashley.
NorCal Carter shirts. We got them.